Welcome to the Axiom. New file detected. Launching file.
How's it going, everybody? My name is Leo, and today we are continuing Where the Water Tastes Like Wine. Where we last left off, we had made a bet with a dire wolf who cheated, and we lost the bet. And we are now tasked with gathering stories across America. Don't know necessarily what that entails, but we already did find quite a few stories, and we found one of our main characters, the Hobo Kid. And now we're going to enter Boston and see what happens when we do that. Oh. Boston. Red brick, green trees, blue sky. In this weather, Boston is beautiful. That is, until you make your way deeper into the city and get lost among the cramped, winding, shadow-haunted old streets. So explore, earn money at train station, or what is in the store? Hot apple cider. Wait. There's health bars and sleep bars in this game? Oh. You wander the streets of the city looking for a way to make some cash. Look for work. You hit 4 factories, but nobody's hiring today. Soon you notice you're cruising around the city with the same loose group of rejected laborers. Coughing men in baggy clothes, women with babies tied to their backs, an older fellow with only one hand. Nobody wants us. After the 5th factory, everyone makes a silent agreement to give up. You sit on the curb across from the factory doors and eat your sad little lunches together in silence. Screw this city, huh? Huh, okay.
This city is like no other you've been to. Crooked streets splay out in a maze of narrow passages, no two alike. Soon, you find yourself in twilight, utterly lost. Bright light crests around one corner, a car approaching.
Hail the taxi cab?
Compelled by the cold and foreboding night, you don't question it as you drag your bones into the cab. But you realize immediately how strange the vehicle is. It's a sleek thing, like a shallow parabola gliding over the street.
Did I make a wrong choice?
Where to? He asks. You have to stop and think. Eventually, you name Boston Common, the only landmark you know in this town. He peels off silently. You feel the car move before you hear the engine.
Interesting. Oh, also, I got a new controller, so hopefully I won't be running into the same issues that I had last episode.
He takes you through ever odder streets, flanked by painfully clean, gleaming buildings and signage for businesses you don't recognize. Even the air seems different. It doesn't smell so sharply of gasoline and coal. Eventually, you come to a stop.
Pay the driver.
The fare's in glowing numbers above his dashboard. It's much too high. Surely a mistake. No charge, he insists.
Well, that's good.
You look like you need a break. And then you find yourself on the curb at Boston Common, under thick moonlight, in a city much as you'd left it before.
Move on. New story, the odd silent taxi cab in Boston. So, wait, how much money do I have? Like, is this important? Hot apple... Oh. Well, now I'm... Okay. Leave. Okay, well, I guess we just keep wandering then. The reason why I'm not the biggest fan of the whistling mechanic is just because it seems like it doesn't make your walking speed any like it's minimal how much it increases your speed. Oh, this is not voiced? As you walk down the road, a black crow flutters down to land in your path. It looks at you, cocks its head, and speaks. Well, you've got a long, long road ahead, don't you? All these people to chase down, or so I hear. It laughs. I got some experience when it comes to chasing folks. Tell me about it. Well, if you want, I could go find your friend again. Ask them more about their life. They might want better stories this time, though. It peers up at you. Didn't they tell you where they were headed next? Yeah? But hey, the world is full of people. Bet you could find another friend like that if you went looking around. There's more than one interesting person in this land for sure. It gives a gravelly laugh. That's what humans say anyway. And with that, it launches into the air and disappears. Move on. So does that mean I can use the crow to like oh, okay, so now you're gonna tell me how to do that? So can I use the crow to find someone if they don't tell me already where they are? Can I hitchhike? Hey. So now we're in New York. And the hobo kid is supposed to be over in that direction somewhere. I said this to bring up the map. Oh god, toggle map exploration. So he is... Yeah, he's all the way over there. I went... Yeah, I'm just going along the coast, I guess. I wonder what happens if I try to cut through wilderness. Huh. Okay.
By nightfall, the hospitality of this sleepy hamlet, combined with their superstitious tales, has both overstuffed your stomach and filled you with a hollow dread. Folks say these woods are full of apparitions, witches, and worse. You curse yourself for getting on the road so late.
Am I finally gonna get a scary story? Walk on.
In the moonlight, every valley and hollow at the feet of the Tappan Zee seems like a stolen shred of the abyss itself. Fireside tales seem less fanciful, and every cackling crow and moaning whippoorwill seems like a demon perched on the shivering, spindly trees.
I just got an achievement that said, Whippoorwill 1 of 3. Listen.
But something cuts through the noise. The muffled sound of hooves galloping on the cold, muddy road. When he finally slows his horse alongside you, it's as though he had just appeared out of the mist.
Is this a headless horseman? Look at him.
He's astride a gigantic black courser, and though his boots are muddy and ragged, he wears an immaculate coat with great, shining buttons. From his saddle hangs an antiquated flintlock and a cavalry saber. In the darkness, you can hardly see above his towering shoulders.
Greet the rider.
His voice is a rumbling croak, deep, but as though his throat is filled with thorns. Have you happened upon a cannonball around here?
That's so weird.
You can tell English isn't his first language. German is. His hand, so pale it's almost blue in the moonlight, grips the reins in a fist.
So I can get pentagram or I can get travel. Sorry, I haven't.
You mumble an apology and watch as he silently rides away, back into the mist. He's cloaked in black, you notice from behind, but the blood running down over his shoulders glints crimson in the moonlight.
Move on. New story, The Rider in the Woods. Hear a story. You spend a while in the cool shade at this gas station. You notice 3 kids sitting beside their family car while their parents argue loudly with the cashier inside. The children seem embarrassed. You see the oldest brother lean over and distract his siblings with a story. Listen in. He starts telling them a story about the 2 brothers who wandered seeking one another for 50 years. You realize almost instantly that he's telling a new version of the tale of the 2 brothers who reconnected after 30 years apart, but with new, exciting, over-the-top details. He tells it well. When the parents come stomping furiously out of the gas station, you make yourself scarce, missing the end of the boy's new story. But the part you heard is definitely easy to remember. It'll stick with you for a while. The story grew in the telling. The 2 brothers who wandered seeking each other after 50 years apart. And we have reached New York. Okay, so it seems like at every city we have a crow that can like help us to get to where we need to be, or help us find people. Let me enter New York really quick. Let's earn money. You wander the streets of the city looking for a way to make some cash. I guess, would work be easier to find in New York? Miraculously, you're one of the first people in line when this factory's doors open. You join a crowd of people streaming through the machine room towards the back. When the doors to the furthest storage room open, though, the folks in the front ranks recoil. A few even scream. What the hell? You want to get paid, don't you? Shouts the foreman. Get in there, get in. The folks behind you shove forward, and soon you're pushed inside. Holy shit. This room is full of fucking snakes. Stay and work. I spent my money on, what was it, cider? I need the money. Grab 'em, shouts the foreman, passing out nets. They're harmless. The remaining workers get over their fear and start scooping up snakes by the netful. The beasts hiss pathetically. You dump them into a chute in the far wall. This better pay well. It does pay pretty well. During lunch, you rest on the warehouse floor. The snakes pile up in a corner and watch you all with enormous suspicion. It's then that you glance out a window and notice a fading logo on a sign outside. Sylvester Bros. Fine boots. Poor snakes. Move on. Hey, I got money. Let's explore New York.
The engines belch black smoke as the ferry churns gray water into froth. A broad-shouldered figure leans out over the rail, eyeing the skyscrapers on the horizon. Nearby, a man and a woman speak in low, urgent voices. He takes her wrist gently. She is weeping softly.
So I can get I already have a couple of things about love, so let me get a travel one. Talk to the man.
The man gives you a once-over as you approach. His newsboy cap is ragged with age.
You look familiar. Did I meet you at Union Square?
Union Square?
The demonstration. It got bloody, but I'm used to that after Italy.
He claps a hand to his hat to steady it from the breeze.
When Gramsci was arrested, many of us had to flee. I came into New York, and here I continue our efforts.
The workers' voices will be heard.
I don't know who Gramsci is. Is there a, was there a, like, worker strike in Italy in the 1930s? And was Gramsci, like, a martyr for the workers? Move on. The determined socialist in New York. Fresh bagel, slice of pizza, ice cream float, and coffee. Oh, the air stinks of gasoline and trash and you're boxed in by brick, but damn, there's something invigorating about that stink. God, you feel like there's an engine in your chest. Let's grab a slice of pizza. And then leave. So what do I have in my inventory right now? I have... Okay, so I have health, sleep, and money. Stories. So can I, like... How many stories can I have equipped per thing? Because it did say something about, like, equipping stories. Wait. Oh my god. I just realized something. Does all of the food... Because this is not in my inventory. Does all of the food that I ate... Does that not go to my inventory? Do I just eat it right away? So have I been wasting my money this whole time? Okay. Let's... Let's head off. Let's see. I see something over there, and I see another campfire. Search.
The stream is a clear, reflective shade of blue. Unusual in this region, where bog iron colors the river's brown. Across the way, a boat with great leather wings laps up the water, its sunken red eyes fixed on your every movement.
Pretty sure that's a demon.
You now notice the unnatural absence of wildlife. No fish swim in the stream. No birds sing in the trees. The winged goat drinks with a forked tongue, only abstractly concerned with your presence.
So, I don't remember what either of these are. I know this is sadness. I wish it would tell you what the icon is while you're doing this, so that you can keep track of how many you have. I know that I already have a sadness story, which is the one about the woman. I don't think I have this. So let me go ahead and drink the water.
You cup the water in your hands, ice cold somehow, and take a swallow, soothing the coarseness in your parched throat. Clear as the water is, the stream bed isn't visible, even looking straight down.
This doesn't seem like a good idea. Swim in the water.
Your feet don't reach the bottom, so you float in the cool water, feeling washed clean. The ripples flow as far as you can see, never fading.
We're just gonna wave at the goat, I guess.
The winged goat snorts and heads in the other direction.
Move on. The Winged Goat by Pristine Water. So, what was that? Does not say. Oh, Empress. So I did get a new thing. Cool. So what do I not have? Just so I can know. The Two of Pentacles, I don't have anything. The Star, I don't have anything. The World, I don't have anything. I have 2 for the Lovers, so I don't have to worry about that. The Wheel, I don't have. The Moon, I have 2. The Justice, I don't have any. The Fool, I have 1. 3 of Staves, I don't have any. Queen of Cup, I have 2. Empress, I now have 1. The Tower, I don't have any. The Devil, I have 1. The Emperor, I have 1. The Sun, I don't have any. And the 9 of Swords, I have 1. Okay, so I need to make sure I'm keeping track, make sure I get a... Because whenever I approach a main character, it only allows me to tell one story from each of the things. So the more spread out my stories are, the more choices it'll give me. Let's go ahead and head to Philadelphia, and then we'll head to that camping site that I see in the distance. Here's a story. These fellas are lounging in the front of a half-finished office building, taking their lunch break. Hey, one calls, waving you down. Rick was telling us this story. Listen, okay? And you tell us if it's bullshit or not. Sure. Rick, a credulous-seeming fellow, starts telling you a story about the dead woman and the yellow ribbon. You realize it's the story of the elegant woman in the small town, but changed in a few major ways. So it's definitely part bullshit, right? But also a little real. It's not bullshit. Half the group groans. How the hell is that supposed to be a real story? Exclaims the man who waved you down. You're all the most gullible pieces of shit I've ever met. The other half of the group, vindicated, shares a bottle of pop with you. Story grew in the telling. The dead woman and the yellow ribbon. Let's search this.
The edge of summer has turned the ocean choppy and misanthropic, and the skies miserably gray. The boardwalk prophetess lured you into her tent with a promise to read a fortune for free. Seems like business has slowed to a crawl already.
Sat at her table.
Before you lie the instruments of her profession. There's tarot cards, Rider-Waite, but also Marseille for traditionalists, rosary beads and costume jewelry, and of course, the centerpiece, a great glass globe.
Listen to your fortune.
With practiced theatricality, she goes directly for the crystal ball, letting her eyes unfocus as though she can see a great distance into it. She brings up names, places, asks if you've known someone called John, if you have a relative in Newark.
I don't have wheel or star. I'll be a good sport.
You'll latch on to what she says, and together you dance towards some insights about your romantic prospects. It's relieving to meet an honest charlatan instead of the ghouls and ghasts of the road. You might even say you're having fun, until she abruptly stops talking.
Ask her what's wrong.
Your eyes, she says, her voice suddenly drained of the bassy drama that was her stock in trade. You've met him. You've seen him, too. You carry him with you.
Is that the wolf? Is she talking about the wolf? Also, what is my response? Yes, did you miss me?
The words that come out of your mouth are not your own. They seem unwilling.
Oh, wow.
Or unable to form properly out of a human throat. They're more like snarls, warning noises of a vicious animal.
So it is the wolf. Try to move.
The glass globe shatters. Your vision is hazy, and your body is not your own. You came far to get away from me, the voice lodged inside you says. But this one has a way of wandering. The fortune teller has collapsed, cowering. Consider your debt to me repaid.
Wow. So I guess the wolf possessed us? Blackout.
When you come to your senses, you're lying face down on the rough wood of the boardwalk, sore and weak. An empty patch of wood, cleaner than the surrounding planks, is all that remains of the fortune teller's tent.
Move on. The fortune teller and the curse. So is this... Hop a train? No. Okay, I want to try and get to that campfire before daytime. camp. Mason by Sidney Meeker, Chapter 1, Pay for Your Life.
My twin brother Paul and I always got into trouble, but we were good. We didn't do nothing to anybody till we left. Then we hurt a lot of people. Me, more so than Paul, because he didn't make it through. The march I was on, the bonus army, it's less a bonus and more an acknowledgement of what I've had to suffer. Civilians will never understand.
So he's a veteran. By the way, I did, in the options, I tried to turn the music and sound effects down and keep the voice volume all the way up. But I had to turn the master volume down in order to turn the music down, because for some reason the music slider seemed to do nothing. So, those of you who watch this, let me know in the comments if the volume is good, for, like, the voices and stuff.
Do you know any happy stories? Hopeful ones?
I do, actually. Okay, yes. This controller is already so much better. Tell the story of the two brothers who wandered seeking one another for 50 years.
I liked that one. There's some hope left for you too, you know. Don't give it away too quickly.
Okay, so because I had enhanced that story by hearing it retold, I guess it opened his eye more than it would have if it just singularly told the story.
My family. They were good to me. Ma and Pa. And to Paul. And to my sister Jessie. Some days I wish I could find Jessie again and have her help me. She always liked Paul best. Tell me a happy story. Something to make the world seem kind.
Okay. Well, I have The Lovers. Tell the story of the two lighthouse keepers near Portland, Maine. This one's going much better than the Hobo Kid, I think.
For a moment there. Just a moment. I felt better about it all too.
So the eye is fully open. Does that mean I've already completed this chapter?
Love? It was a real long time ago. I pulled a ribbon on her hair and her pigtails came undone and she tattletaled on me. Never really tried after that. Maybe it'll take my mind off my sorrow to hear about somebody else's. Tell me a sad story.
Should I be saving the stories now that his eye is fully open? Should I just exit? I don't know how this works. I'm going to experiment because, like, I know it had said if I repeat stories in the future, it will, it won't help me to tell the same people the same stories. So maybe I should save, maybe I should save my stories and just exit, since his eye is already open. Or do I have to make it through the night? What happens if I exit? Are you sure you want to leave? I guess not. That didn't seem like a prompt to... I'll just go with it. The story of the dead woman and the yellow ribbon.
Well, maybe you should tell my story to Hoover. I think you might put a crack in his heart. Mods say that we only get as much sadness as we make. Paul's ghost has provided me a little extra. Tell me a happy story. Something to make the world seem kind.
I guess let's do this one. The seagulls and the fishermen.
I liked that one. There's some hope left for you too, you know. Don't give it away too quickly. The future's the issue, ain't it? The Great War leaves us nothing to go back to, plucking up the hope and leaving us only with the vile and the unforgiven. Do you know any happy stories? Hopeful ones?
I guess let's do the determined socialist in New York.
For a moment there, just a moment, I felt better about it all too.
This one's going way better now that I have a variety of stories. Well, actually, I just had a bunch of happy ones, and that wasn't good for the hobo kid.
Freedom is getting paid what you deserve, and getting enough to get by. Freedom is the ability to be free of pain. Here's the sun. I've got to go. I'm headed up the road this way. Will our paths cross?
So he's headed back up to Massachusetts.
Days come and go and the terrors return. They'll never be able to pay back what they owe me, but I'll always keep at 'em. What about you? Is there something somebody owes you?
The Great War Veteran. Mason, Chapter 2, now available. New story, Mason's Loss. So, if I had... There's a new campfire here. If I had, exited, would it not have registered all those stories? I have no idea. But let's, I guess, go to this campsite. Oh, Mason? Again?
First, Ma and Pa wanted me and Paul on the front lines. They wanted someone to be proud of, and I did as they asked.
Maybe I was dumb and I didn't see where he actually was. I saw where I was and I didn't see where he was going.
Then the government wanted me to take an IOU, and I did. When there were no more jobs, I, along with thousands of others like me, went and asked Hoover to pay up. General MacArthur was so scared of us, he brought in goddamn tanks to keep us from tearing apart DC. So anyway, tell me a funny story? You seem like you know a few good ones.
Okay. Well, now I'm... This is not gonna go well, then. It's not gonna be that one. Oh, I can't even say, stories that I've already said. Yeah, he already knows. He already knows his own story. I don't really have any other funny stories. See, I don't, hang on, let's see. There was one, the Pigeon Keeper in Boston. Is that, I don't know if that's necessarily funny. Let me go ahead and exit. Yes.
Where are you headed? Back to the road? Hope your travels are easy enough, huh? Oh, I should be leaving soon, too. The road takes me this way next. Where's it taking you? I wish there was a road I could take home. Home as I knew it. To my sister Jessie and all of them before the war. But there ain't. It's something I think the road is helping me to understand.
Okay, so I'm thinking I could have exited early. So now he's up in, like... He's all the way over there. I think that's him out in the distance. So let me see... We're at Washington now. Oh, geez. Frame rate, work with me. Enter Washington, D.C. It's hard to look at these shining buildings in the direct sunlight. You feel like an ant crawling among the tombs of giants. Away from the monuments, though, you find a city that's a little more human. Let's earn some money. You wander the streets of the city looking for a way to make some cash. I don't know. I guess look for work? Shouts echo from a nearby alley. You discover a crowd of men unloading sacks from a truck as fast as they can. When the trunk empties, it roars away and another surges up to take its place. The sacks are lumpen, heavy, and stained with dark smears. Ask if they need help. Yes, blurts a laborer. Do we ever? An older fellow, however, throws out his arm to shut the man up. We don't mind help with the stuff, he says, stepping closer to obscure your view of the goods. Mind fetching water instead? He waggles a few coins in your direction. Sure. You fill their pail at a nearby gas station. When you return, though, the men are waiting in the alley innocent as anything. They wash the sticky residue off their hands in the water, and their boss pays you a couple coins. There's no sign of the goods anywhere. Move on. So they were definitely, like, doing drugs or booze or bodies or something. Explore.
The mailman's uniform is dated and worn. He sits on the edge of the road, head in hands. He looks up as you approach. Can you help? Car clipped me. I think my legs... Well, I'd appreciate it if you could deliver this for me. He holds out a brown envelope.
Deliver the letter.
The letter's addressed to a James Gibson Sr., 120 J Street. But the city stymies you. The blocks run straight from I to K. You stop a man for directions, but he shakes his head and laughs. Someone's playing a joke on you. There's no J Street.
It seems like it doesn't matter what I pick. I could head back. Maybe he didn't write down the thing.
Over here.
A woman in a brown coat overheard your question. She steers you down an alley. Someone's chalked a big orange J on one wall.
I thought Clovis was late. Go left up ahead. Old Man Gibson's the third on the right.
Go on alone.
As you round the corner, the world changes. J Street is a place out of time. Like the city forgot an entire street a century ago and carried on around it, oblivious. Even the noise and bustle of D.C. can't penetrate this little pocket.
All right, let's knock on Gibson's door.
The man who answers is ancient and stooped. He peers at the letter. I think it's from my son. I don't see so well anymore. Will you read it to me? You tear the letter open. It isn't good news.
Tell him the truth or lie. Let's get another sad story, I guess. Yeah. Sorry, I'm not doing a whole lot of commentary. It's like I feel like the game is doing a good job of explaining the stories themselves, and I don't really know what to say. Like, I don't know what exactly to say over stuff like this.
He fights it, but his face crumbles. Tears roll down his cheeks. It's better to know. I've been waiting a long time for this. His shaking hand takes the letter. Thank you for telling me.
Let's move on. The strange street lost to time in Washington, D.C. Let's go ahead and leave. Map. I don't know where I'm going. So Mason went back up to Rhode Island. The Hobo Kid is still in New York. Can I zoom out? How big is this map? Is it the whole US? It is the whole US. Okay, I guess what I'll do is I will, yeah, just keep going. I have no idea. I see a campsite over there. Oh. I can't cross water, apparently. Can't cross there either. Okay. Let's go to this church really quick. Alright, guess. What is this? Oh, I can cross there. Okay. It's like a boat. Search.
Muddling through the dark, you stumble into the path of the white deer. Its beauty strikes you at once. It is something otherworldly, beyond borders, a moon swimming in the void. Human shouts not far away break the spell. The deer's ears prick up. This thing is being hunted.
It looks like it's a travel story either way. I'm gonna help the deer.
You know a way out of here. As the hunter's cries get louder, you approach the deer carefully, palms outstretched. As you grow close, your features become clearer in the light of the deer's aura. It bolts into the path of an oncoming train.
Well, that sucks.
A few wanderers like you are looking for a place to camp.
We heard there's a Leatherman cave nearby.
They tell you. They describe
Leatherman.
a locally famous vagrant who hiked this area for almost 30 years.
He's dead now, but his caves are the best place to camp at any town.
Where is it?
You and the other wanderers find the cave easily, because someone's lit a fire there. As you approach, you see a silhouette bend over the flames with an odd creaking sound, like a door swinging in the wind.
Who's there?
His coat is crudely stitched from leather plates that squeak against each other.
The Leatherman.
One of the others whispers, "A ghost." The Leatherman must have heard, but he just stares. His face is corpse still.
Of course, he isn't a ghost or... Oh, shit. We don't have any stories in the star category yet, so we'll go ahead and do this one. Of course, he isn't a ghost.
"He's eating," you say, and point out his can of beans.
Je ne suis pas un fantôme,
The Leatherman says, and adds,
idiot. Oh,
bursts your companion.
Canadien.
Soon, he and the Leatherman are deep in conversation, and your group has a safe place to rest.
So now I have a funny story, I guess. Move on. The Leatherman's Cave. There's something else right here. Oh, what? Got two good hands, an old man calls. A downed tree has flattened his front yard, and his porch too. His two sweaty sons are chopping it into movable pieces. You throw the logs into the old man's cart. At least I can sell it for firewood, he sighs, tossing you some coins. Oh, okay, so I got money. So something I will comment on is, the game has... I'm still not quite sure what to think of it, because, like, the voice acting is really good, the story is really good, but, like... Or, not the story, the stories are really good, but at the same time, you don't, let me pause so that time doesn't pass while I say this. There's two things that are kind of putting it, like, this is just based on my first impressions, but there's two things that are, like, kind of holding the game back from me. The first is how slow you walk, and, like, how like slow everything is. Like a slow pace isn't necessarily bad, but if it's too slow, it can get to the point where it can't hold your attention. And the other thing is like a general lack of direction. Like, I'm kind of reminded of the game Everybody's Gone to the Rapture, which was kind of the same. It had a really good story and really good voice acting. In fact, one of the best stories and voice acting I think I've ever played in a game. But it was so slow that like it kind of took away from the experience, and there was also kind of a lack of direction in that one. Like, it was hard to figure out where to go to make the best progress. It like, I don't know, but like even then, like there in Everybody's Gone to the Rapture, there were like environmental cues to like kind of point you in a direction. In this one, you're just kind of supposed to wander. And I'm not sure how I feel about it from a gameplay standpoint, like based on my taste. But we'll see. I'll continue playing. Like I don't dislike the game, and I'm still having fun, but we'll see how it goes as the game progresses. Let's go ahead and search this.
You hear the whippoorwill first.
Whippoorwill 2 of 3.
Shrill and close. Then you see him, high up above the black streaks of wires. A lineman, fraying belt holding him to the pole. The damned bird has come to perch on a power line, stare hungrily at the man's soul.
Is a whippoorwill like a bird of doom? I'm noticing this is the tower, which is usually spells doom and change, according to the thing. Watch him.
He's unsteady. His hands are shaky, and his body sways in the wind. You spot his tool bag next to the pole, worn and frayed, much like the man. A half-gone bottle of cheap rye pokes out of it.
Walk away for the devil, or take the bottle for the tower. I don't believe I have any stories yet for the tower, so let's go ahead and take the bottle.
What's he gonna do? Come down from the pole? You snatch it from his bag in one quick motion and walk away. Hey! He starts, but whatever he's about to say slips into a slurred whine as his belt snaps.
Look at him, I guess.
His body plummets, and his limbs go slack with the understanding of what is happening to him. He tumbles into the tall, dry grass by the side of the road with a muffled noise. All you hear is the call of the whippoorwill. Eager, loud, thankful.
Move on. New story, the drunken lineman. Well, we have a new... Or actually... Hear a story. Let's go ahead and upgrade one of our stories. These fellas... Wait. Is this the same thing? Oh, it's not. Okay, so it's the same dudes. But now... Okay, so Rick, a credulous-seeming fellow, starts telling you a story about the brothers who sought one another for 50 years, and their spirits still search today. You realize it's the story of the two brothers who wandered seeking one another for 50 years, but changed in a few major ways. So it's definitely part bullshit, right? But also a little real? I mean, at this point, it's more bullshit. Am I supposed to let stories get out of control? I'll say... Wait, should I... Will this affect whether or not the story evolves? It's bullshit. Half the group groans. The man who waved you down claps you on the back and shares a bottle of pop with you. I swear it's true, it happened. Rick protests. Yeah, Rick, you believe everything you hear. Move on. Story grew in the telling. Who saw one another 50 years and their spirits still search today. That's actually kind of funny. Where am I? Okay, so I'm about to meet the hobo kid. I think I can do better with him now. Quinn. Chapter 1, Nothing Shaken.
Hey, traveler. Come to join my fire again?
Yeah.
Well, I guess I know you well enough to let you set yourself down for a spell. You remember Cass and Flip?
I do.
You want to hear more about my travels? Well, sure. Why not? Nothing better than trading stories around the fire. And I got stories.
I have so many stories that I think you would like now. This is gonna go so much better.
I want to hear a story about ghosts or murderers or something. Scary stuff.
Okay, well, do I have the story for you? Not that one. Not that one. I could tell about the winged goat. The white deer, maybe? He would like this one. Tell the story of the rider in the woods around New York City.
You spin a good yarn. I was shivering there for a little bit. Traps and such like. Well, one time in Fort Worth, a feller tried to take Cass and Flip away.
And you probably stabbed him?
Said a kid couldn't look out for him proper like. That they were fat in Fort Worth and they were going to the pound so that he could find him a good home. Well, before I could much argue, Flip bit the hell out of that busybody and Cass and I joined in shortly. I don't think I ever seen a fella so surprised. Guess I ain't going back to Fort Worth no more. Hey, do you got any really thrilling stories to tell? I'm hankering for one of those.
So now that your eye is fully open, I'm gonna go ahead and exit to see if it'll lock it down so I don't have to waste any stories. Leave.
Oh, heck. The night's over already. I sure enjoyed talking to you, but I gotta get on. I think I'll see what's happening up the road this way.
So he's at the downside of Pennsylvania.
The tramping life suits me just fine. Every day is a venture. With things being so depressed, folks walk around like it's the end of everything good. But it ain't.
You already said this.
Plenty nice things to see if you know where to look.
Quinn Chapter 2 now available. Okay, so it does register that the eye is open. New story, Quinn's Adventures. So I can do that. Can I do this again? Listen to this, blurts a boy loitering around outside this grocery store. He works his way through a long, strange story about a ghost of a woman executed in Paris long ago. There, he finishes. What do you think? Wait a minute. Holy shit. You know this story. It's the story of the dead woman in the yellow ribbon, but wildly altered. For a couple of moments, you're too surprised to respond. Seriously, the boy insists. What do you think of that one? If it's wildly altered, does that mean I can't? Surprisingly, the boy is delighted. That's what I told my brother, he exclaims, but he dunked me in a rain barrel and punched me. That sucks, you tell him. The kid shrugs. I put Wasp in a cup and held it on his back while he was sleeping, so we're square now, I guess. Oh god, move on. Story grew in the telling. The ghost of a woman executed in Paris long ago. Huh, that is an interesting mechanic. And I think that it's actually pretty cool. Like, has that evolved into a scary story now or something? Or is it still sad? I mean, either way, it's still cool. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and end this recording here. I still don't quite know what to think of this, but it is a very interesting game. The stories are very interesting. And, I don't know, yeah, I'm intrigued, but like my points that I said a few minutes ago still stand. Like, I don't know if I'll become more used to it the more I play a game. That's what I tend to do. Like, if there's mechanics I don't like, I'm usually pretty like tolerant when it comes to like mechanics and stuff. So I might get used to the like slow walking pace and the lack of direction. but we'll see. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, because I still don't really know what to think, and I'm interested to see other people's opinions on this game. I think, like, once I'm done with this, I don't know if I'll look up a playthrough, but I'll definitely look up, like, I want to know what other people think, because it's such a unique concept. It's interesting. So thank you everybody so much for checking out the video. I really do appreciate it. If you want to be notified of when I upload the next part of the file to the archives, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and ring that bell, as well as leave a like or comment if you so desire. Thanks again, and I will see you next time.
Upload successful. Click here to view previous files. Have a pleasant day.